Hello, in episode 8 of Criminal Record, the ending is explained. Why did Hegarty see Stefan Ash? While Hegarty was telling Linker about Errol's confession, Carla's recording, in which she discussed her partner killing a woman, possibly Adelaide Burrows, had been heard by thousands and would not stop. All this indicated one thing to Linker: Carla was in danger. If her boyfriend heard the audio clip, he would kill her. Hegarty appeared to be concerned about whether he had made a mistake in persuading Errol to confess. Hegarty was sure in his account of events that he had never believed Errol was a murderer. But when he discovered Errol had stabbed his father and Patrick told him that he had heard Errol use the phrase "I'll knock you flat" to Adelaide, Hegarty knew he had his man. Furthermore, all other individuals who had entered the flat had been cleared. They either had no history of violence or had an alibi. Linker had little time for Hegarty's selfish reflection, and while she appeared to have believed Hegarty's comments about Errol's confession, she now wanted him to assist her in identifying Carla's partner. Now that Hegarty understood Errol was not the murderer, he was willing to assist Linker. He was still perplexed as to how he had overlooked something in the case, but he was certain that he had not purposefully harmed Errol's chances. He obtained the confession and assisted in advancing the case in order to obtain justice for Adelaide, an orphan. Putting his emotions aside, he handed Linker the investigative notes, and she instantly began to narrow down prospective candidates. Errol was a barber, and he ran his shop from Adelaide's flat, so many guys had come in and out. The right method was to compare the guest's DNA to that of everyone near the flat to see whether there had been any previous violence. Hegarty was confident that everyone who had a history of violence and entered the flat had been exonerated because they had an alibi. But Hegarty fled after seeing Tony's report, which included Stefan's name. Stefan Ash was Tony's informant, and he had cleared Stefan because his wife served as his alibi. Hegarty left Linker to check up on Ash, as there were reports that Ash's wife didn't have a strong alibi because she wasn't present at the murder. There was an insurance issue, and she went to resolve it. Linker followed Hegarty, but when they arrived at Ash's residence, Hegarty discovered Ash's wife assaulted, indicating Ash was on the run. How did Linker find Carla? Hegarty informed Linker that Ash was now his informant and owned a significant piece of property near and in the towers, where Adelaide lived. He may have let himself in during the murder because he had the key, and the police would not have known. He was suspected of hiding on one of his own estates. Thus, a manhunt began. Hegarty led the charge, while Linker went door to door to see if she could find Carla sheltering in any of the flats. If Ash approached her first, there was a good possibility he would murder her. Chloe informed Linker about the abandoned buildings, which had been vacant since the asbestos crisis a few months prior. Linker entered the building and was nearly killed in her altercation with Ash. He was indeed hidden in the structure and was as vicious as a mad dog. Hegarty came just in time, as Linker was about to stab Ash in self-defense. He prevented her from becoming a killer, even though it would almost definitely have been interpreted as self-defense. After Ash was hauled away, a harrowed but duty-bound Linker continued her search and discovered Carla in a nearby room. She was hiding with her kid inside a little cabinet. How did Linker learn the truth about Hegarty? The case was solved. Hegarty was escorting Ash from custody. Adelaide's bloody clothes and the murder weapon were discovered in Ash's backyard. We thought it was over. Two bikers approached Ash and shot him while he was in police custody. Hegarty received one in the stomach. After a few months of recuperation, Hegarty was required to appear before a committee to explain how such a grave error could have occurred in the Errol Matthijs case. Nobody expected Hegarty to engage in criminal behavior on purpose. Thank you for watching.